This dog is really brave. He doesn't even know the danger, facing a brown bear several times bigger than himself. He did not have the slightest fear. The bear was so scared that it retreated. In a small town, this dog was even more dominant. Whatever he saw, he was a dog of the world. It's not too much to call him the devil of the world. It turns out that Coco is the pet dog of the town's judge. Coco was raised by his owner since childhood. Naturally, he is very good at tearing down homes. He can enter and leave the whole house freely. It was the judge's birthday. The servants cooked a whole table of food. I thought I would take a picture before eating, but the next moment, Coco came over slowly with a chicken leg. Sure enough, the food had turned into a mess. Coco was punished to stay outside the door for the night and was not allowed to enter the door. He could only lie on the door with a face of grievance. But then there was a bright light in the distance. He was curious and ran over, but he did not know. This man is a dog dealer. Tempted by the food, the unsuspecting Coco fell for the trap. He was put into a wooden box. Coco pats anxiously, but she could only see that she was far from her cozy home, farther and farther away, and that would change his life. After moving around several places, Coco was finally released, but just after he came out, he was faced with a severe beating. Looking at the stick in front of him, he was so proud of himself, now is so helpless. But Coco did not give up. He used his ancestral home demolition skills and escaped. With its flexible positioning, no one can stop it. The freedom he wanted was ahead. He thought he had escaped from the tiger's mouth, but on closer inspection, he was on a huge cargo ship, surrounded by ice and snow. NAR. Now, he's in the far north of Alaska. This was Coco's first time seeing snow. He was instantly enchanted. Coco was curious about the unknown, but the dog dealer threw him into a cage. He became a commodity to be selected. Luckily, a letter carrier saw Coco's size. He bought him. From then on, Coco had his first job in the dog's life, sled dog. But he was originally a noble dog. How can he do this? The first time he pulled a sled, he made a fool of himself. On the run, he saw a small white rabbit distracted. He ended up leading the entire team down the hill. The team's lead dog was an extremely dominant husky. He did not allow any of his companions to come near when he was drinking water. As a result, Coco could not stand it anymore. It directly broke the ice. Let all the companions drink together. At mealtime, huskies always grab the food of their teammates. Coco saw this scene and Coco voluntarily gave up his food to his companion. For the first time, the pack was impressed by the big guy, but these actions made the husky very unhappy. Gradually, Coco has completely integrated into the pack. One day, they were crossing a sheet of ice, but then an accident happened and the ice suddenly broke apart. Mistress instantly fell into the bone-chilling ice river and was swept far away by the undercurrents. At this critical moment, Coco stepped forward without hesitation. He jumped into the river, with the hostess broke through the ice layer. After this incident, Coco's status in the heart of the master also rose, but it made the husky feel jealous again. This night, Coco met the white rabbit again. After catching up with him, she put him down gently. It turns out that Coco likes him very much, but just as the rabbit was about to leave, the husky suddenly rushed up. He bit him to death. Coco was very sad. As the saying goes, one mountain can't have two tigers. It was time to make an end to it. The husky attacked Coco, but Coco, who had never been in a fight before, is no match for him. Under the fierce attack of the husky, he finally fell to the ground. The husky tried to regain his strength, but now the dogs had their own dog. All the dogs were calling for Coco. As Coco slowly stood up, the wildness in her heart was awakened. The husky rushed again, but this time, Coco knocked him to the ground with just one move. The husky loses. He tucked his tail. He disappeared into the snow in silence. The next day, the master had to choose the lead dog again. Coco came out on top, but the master had no confidence in him. He was dragged back, but the pack already thought Coco was the boss. They all refused to take the lead dog's place. No choice but to let Coco give it a try. But the male owner never expected. Under Coco's leadership, the united team was like a wild horse. The speed was more than twice as fast as before, but at that moment an avalanche suddenly occurred on the side of the mountain. An avalanche occurred on the mountain next to, and this snow dog defied his master's order. The master commanded him to turn to the right, but Coco had his own judgment. He saw a cave in the distance, so he led the team to turn left, and went in. Obviously Coco's judgment was right. With the sun setting on the horizon, they arrived at the town on time. Coco saw the look on people's faces when they received the letter. He understood that this might be happiness. In the darkness of the night, Coco saw a black wolf. So this is the wildness in Coco's heart. He could have returned to freedom with the moonlight, but after some consideration, Coco still chose to stay. But a good life is always short-lived. The owner's postal company was dissolved. Looking at the helplessness and reluctance in his master's eyes, Coco knew that he had lost his home once again, and they were also sold to a gold digger. But unfortunately, their new owner had no sense of humanity. The sled was frozen. All he does is whip the dogs. He was stopped by an old man whom Coco had helped. The old man came up and helped them loosen the sled, and told the gold miners miners to go panning for gold at this time of year. It's just a matter of destruction. But the gold miner was too arrogant to listen. Coco decided it was too dangerous to go ahead, but the gold miner didn't care. After one whipping after another, Coco finally passed out. Just when the gold miner was about to kill him, the old man appeared in time to save Coco. The old man was not a gold miner. He was just a poor man who had lost his family. Coco slept in the old man's house for 3 whole days. When he woke up, he realized that he had lost his companion once again. Now the old man is his only friend. But this old man is always drinking, every day. He was in the grief of losing his family. Coco could see the old man's sadness. He overturned the glass with his nose. He grabbed the bottle again, only to see the bottle buried in the snow. Then Coco sat on it with his buttocks. The old man came to push it. But Coco's size old man cannot push. It is a proud face tilting its head. But the old man told him, today is his dead son's birthday. After listening to Coco, very understanding, leaned on the old man's side. So under the dark night, a dog and a man healed each other. That day the old man took out a map, told Coco. His son had heard a legend before. At the end of the map there is a river of gold. There is a paradise there. It is a place that countless people dream of. Now that the old man was accompanied by Coco, his passion was reawakened. He wanted to help his son fulfill his wish. And so one man and one dog embarked on a journey into the unknown. They sailed their canoe. They met the birds and paddled past the fish. They saw the scenery along the way. And everything was so beautiful. At night they lay together and played the harmonica. Such a life is really happy. Even the rapids and waterfalls couldn't stop them. The old man never treated Coco as a pet. Instead, they treated him like family. Finally they came to the end of the map. Here they found a small wooden hut, and the surroundings were really like the legendary paradise. They decided to stay here, away from the evil of humanity, and spend the rest of their lives here. It was a good choice, but they did not know that a danger was approaching. It turns out that the ruthless gold miners have found their trail. This old man saw something shiny and golden in the river. He fished it up and looked at it. It was actually a piece of gold. So the legendary river of gold really exists. He then used the hourglass to sift a few more pieces. Coco also wanted to help. It found a huge piece of gold from under the water, but the old man didn't even look at it. Coco thought he had found the wrong one and threw it away. And just at that moment, a beautiful creature appeared on the other side of the river. Coco was instantly charmed. The old man said, boldly go after it. Remember to come back early. Then Coco went after it. When she looked closer, it turned out to be a white wolf covered in snow. It came to Coco's side and looked at it curiously. Coco stretched out her paw, but the white wolf turned around and ran away. It instantly disappeared into the jungle. From then on, Coco would go to look for the white wolf every day. Looking at Coco's persistent stalking, the white wolf was helpless. After all, it belonged to the wolf pack. This day, the gray wolf and the pack encountered danger while hunting. It accidentally fell into the water, instantly swept away by the rapids. He could only hold on to a dead tree. Just when the other wolves were in a great hurry, Coco rushes out. He used his huge body to lift up the tree trunk. He exerted all his strength. Finally, he saved the gray wolf. After this incident, Coco finally got the approval of the wolves. He started to learn to guard the hunting with the wolves. But Coco didn't forget the old man. Every time he caught prey, he would share it with the old man. The old man also saw the change in Coco. The wildness in him was completely awakened. He is no longer the pet dog he used to be, because he has found his own home. It was time to say goodbye. The old man didn't want to run away from reality and decided to go home, even though he was the only one left in the house. Before he left, he threw most of the gold back into the river. He wasn't greedy for dreams. Money is enough to live on. He told Coco, I'm going back. You don't have to come with me. Stay here where you belong. Don't forget to come back and say goodbye to me by tomorrow morning. But that night, something unexpected happened. The vicious gold digger came after him. He raised his gun and threatened the old man to give up his gold. The old man threw the gold at him by the handful, but no amount of money can replace a man's conscience. The red-eyed gold miner tried to kill him. Just at the critical moment, Coco rushed back. He leapt from the roof of the house. He shot the shotgun out of the gold miner's hand. The gold miner raised the stick of Coco's fear again, but Coco is now fearless. He bites down on the stick and pushed the gold miner into the cabin. With the fire blazing, the villain also got his due punishment, but the old man is also in danger. It turns out that in the struggle just now, the old man was shot in the belly with a shotgun. Coco brought the old man's harmonica and his son's photo. He used his body to help the old man up. The old man stroked Coco. He told him, from now on, this is your home. You must learn to be your own master. Then he fell asleep quietly in Coco's arms. Coco just quietly guarded. From then on, Coco completely changed from a pet dog. Coco became the wolf king in this valley. He also had his own children with the white wolf. He led the wolves to guard the valley and the old people. In this land, they ran together, hunting together. But every time when they passed by the wooden house, Coco would stop, remembering the good memories of being with the old man. Despite the cruelty of man to him, he has never forgotten them. Coco has been wandering all her life, looking for a place to belong. And finally he found it. And where do we belong?